Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah and day 18 of the Christmas Craft Countdown, where I'm sharing 20 brand new Christmas Cricut paper crafts to make this year. Today's project was inspired by one of the projects from my Halloween Craft Countdown earlier in the year. For one of the projects on that, we made a giant movable skeleton, and that was the most downloaded project of the whole countdown. And it's also the one I received the most emails about, with pictures of ones that you've made and comments on the design. So I thought, what can we do for Christmas that has that similar vibe? And it came up with the Nutcracker. Now, I have to admit, I find nutcrackers super creepy, so this is not my personal favourite project, and I'm a little bit worried he's going to be just watching me around my craft room now. But he's very easy to make, he's quick and fun, this would be a great project to make with kids, and he is a whopping 28 inches tall from his head all the way down to his feet. And all of his limbs are fully movable. He can do a little dance. So you can position him however you want to. And there's a little hanging hook on the top for if you want to hang him up for your Christmas decorations. So let's find out where to get the download and then how to make your giant papercraft nutcracker. Just look how excited he is. Look, he's having a little dance. The files for this project are free for the next 24 hours. Here's how to download them. Register a free ticket for the Christmas Craft Countdown at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas24. After registering, you'll get an email which contains a link to the schedule page for the countdown. Visit the schedule page to find and download today's files. Each download is only available for free for 24 hours after it goes live. If you've missed some, check out the Instant Access Bundle at craftwithsarah.com/Christmas24 bundle, which gives immediate and ongoing access to all of the files from the Christmas Craft Countdown, plus lots of extra bonus designs. The download comes in a zip folder. You need to unzip this before uploading the SVG files into Cricut Design Space. Here's what the Nutcracker design looks like when it's loaded into Cricut Design Space. If you're not sure how to get to this step, check out the schedule page for the Christmas Craft Countdown, and within there, look in the Foundation Learning section near the top of the page. This contains lots of helpful tutorial links, and one of them is on how to upload SVGs into Design Space. Now, one thing I want to mention is that currently, at the time of recording this video, and it's around about the 9th of October, is that there's currently a bug in Cricut Design Space regarding image sizes when you upload big images. And it's currently resizing any big images to a maximum of 24 inches tall. So you can see my little nutcracker here. I've just uploaded him in, and he's come in at just under 10 inches wide and 24 inches tall. Now, you absolutely can cut him out at that size and he will still look lovely, but I had intended for him to be a little bit bigger. So in order to get around this little Design Space bug, which may be fixed by the time you're watching this video, so you might find that yours does load in at the right size, which is brilliant, but in case it doesn't, what you can do is click on the design, make sure your padlock icon above the width and height boxes is closed. If yours is open, you can click it to close it. And then go into the height box and type out 28 inches and press enter on your keyboard, and then the width should automatically change to be 11.5 inches. So we've now got a nice size of exactly 11.5 wide and 28 tall, and that's in inches. So that's the size of the nutcracker I've cut out. It's the one I'm going to be making. So I just wanted to let you know about that in case you wonder why yours ends up a little bit smaller. If you do want to make the nutcracker smaller, you can absolutely do that. The little holes should work even if you make it quite considerably smaller, down to about half in size, maybe even a little smaller than that. If the holes get a little bit small for your push pins, you should be able to just sort of force the ends of them through the hole and open them out, and they should all still go together just fine. You can also make it a little bit bigger if you want to, if you're using 12 by 12 inch card, but just bear in mind that as you make it bigger, it means the holes for all of the split pins will get bigger too, which means if you make it too big, it might end up with the holes so big that your pins actually go all the way through and can't hold it in place. So whatever size you want to make him, get him all set up, and then that's the only thing you need to change. So then you can press Make Over on the top right. This separates out all the colours for you. You can change the paper size in this drop down here. And if you want to, you can rotate things and move them about to use up less space on your cardstock. And you would need to do that for every single colour individually. Just want to show you a few of these pieces so you can see, even though it was 28 inches tall, you can still cut it on your regular cardstock because all the bits come in sections with these holes, which is how we're going to connect it together with the split pins. When you're happy with how everything is looking in Design Space, press Continue to connect to your Cricut, follow the on-screen instructions to get everything cut from cardstock, and then we'll see how to put together our giant movable nutcracker. I've got all of the bits of my nutcracker cut out now, and some of them you can see on the screen. There are lots of big pieces, so some of them are a little bit off camera. I cut the yellow bits from a gold mirror card, which adds a lovely bit of shine to the project. I'll be putting all the pieces together with these brads or split pins. I've got black ones because then they'll blend in to the black cardstock. But someone gave me a really good tip after the Halloween countdown with the skeleton that if you have split pins that are a different colour, then you can colour over the tops of them with either a Sharpie, or you can add a little bit of black paint to the top of them instead to change the colour. How these work is on the back, they've got two little legs on them, which you can pull outwards and open up. So this will go through the holes in the nutcracker to connect two pieces together. Then I'll open them up and that will hold those bits in place, but still allow it to all move about. Okay. So all you need for this are those split pins or brads and some glue. Simple. The glue I'm using is Bearly Art Glue, but I also like Collall, and the reason I like these glues is they don't bend or wrinkle the card like some glues can do. Alright, I'm going to show you how to put together the more complicated bits of the nutcracker, but for the parts that only have one piece of card to go on the black, I have already glued them just to make this a little bit quicker. And there are two each of these, one for the left side and one for the right. So to start with, find your long rectangular pieces and glue your green on the top. And then the shorter rectangular pieces, they get the red on top. And then the feet get that little bit of gold on each of those. It's a good idea to lie all the bits out in front of you before you start gluing anything, just to make absolutely sure you've got the right bits on the right bit of card. We've then got some other bits that are fairly simple, but these are two pieces. We've got the hands and also the shoulders. I've already glued these ones, but I'll show you how to do it on the ones for the other side of the body. So each of these is slightly different to the ones that I had glued at the beginning. These ones, because you can see on these, they've only got one bit of card on them, one on each black base. But these ones have got two colours. So we'll start with this one for his shoulders. The red goes on first. And remember, you'll have two of these, one for the left side and one for the right. Line all the pieces up as close to the middle as you can, so you get a nice even bit of black all the way around the edge. And then for the next bit, we're going to add our glue to the back. And this time it will sit directly on the red. You can match the outlines and it goes on there like that. And then for the hand, this works similarly. We've got the hand for at the bottom, this will be glued on right in the middle of the black section. And then the gold to go on top. and this goes on top of the hand, not the black outline. So it ends up both sitting in the middle. Next we'll do the main body section. This is a few more pieces again. We've got the 3 buttons at the top, the belt, and then the button at the bottom. That was quite hard to say. Start off with the big red bit and the glue. And then stick right in the middle. Make sure you get it the right way up. The bottom bit here sort of goes out a little bit at the sides. And then I want to position these on here before I start sticking, just to make sure it's all going to fit. So the belt should line up so that it touches either side of the red. It goes all the way to the edge. So keep moving it around until that's in the right place. The buckle will go on top, but we'll do that afterwards. And then 1 button underneath. If you want to add a bit of dimension to these, you could do it with some foam squares. In fact, the whole design, if you wanted to, you could put foam squares on instead of glue. But I quite like the sort of flat look. I think it looks a bit more effective. I'm gluing these 3 buttons on first. Then his belt. That has the buckle to go on top. That sits right on top of that belt piece. And then 1 last button to go at the bottom. And that's the middle section done. 1 more left, and it's the toughest one. I saved the hardest one to last, and that is his face. Here it is. Lots of pieces in here. We'll start at the bottom, which is his hair. This goes right in the middle of that black, so that you've got the even amount of it showing around all the edges. Next up is his face, but before we glue this on, I'm going to turn it upside down, grab the gold square or yellow square, and put a little bit of glue around the edge of the hole and add that on there. Just going to fill it in for his nose. Then we can glue this on top of what we've already done. Line it up along the top of the grey of his hair. You can see it fits on there nicely, and it will also line up along the bottom here. I've got glitter all over my desk because I've just filmed the snowflake shadow box design, which you will have seen on day 7. And I haven't wiped my desk, so there's glitter from that everywhere. Next up, we've got the white piece. Then we've got the black bit with his eyes along the bottom. Next up is the red for his hat. Now onto the decorations. We've got the green bit to go here in the top. Then this bit, and this is going to line up so that it touches these 2 little circles on the top, like that. Oops, smudged a little bit of glue on it there. That's a shame. Mirror card is always so hard to keep glue free. And then finally, the long thin rectangle which goes at the very bottom of the red. And then after that is his hat finished. So now we can move on to his rosy cheeks and moustache. Got the pink bit. This is going to sit just under the nose. He looks proper creepy at the minute without a mouth. Just about there. The moustache will overlap a little bit over the edge of the face, that's fine. And then finally his moustache on top. And that's his face done. So just to recap, you should now have the headpiece, the body piece, 2 green bits, 2 red rectangle bits, 2 hands, 2 feet, and finally 2 shoulders. Next up, putting it all together with the split pins. I think I'll start with the head and work downwards from there. So this has only got 1 split pin going to go in there. The top one here with the bigger hole, this is in case you want to add some ribbon or something to hang him up with. So I've got my body, which I'll slide underneath the head, and then the circles will overlap. Get one of your pins and put it through both of those holes. There, turn it round and open up the little feet. It's a bit hard to see because it's black on black, but you can see that's not opened up. So that's hold in place, it's not going anywhere, but it can still move about. Next up, we've got his shoulders. Make sure you get this the right way round. It's pretty easy to tell because the holes will line up. I think I'll put the shoulders on first. It doesn't actually matter, it's just personal preference about which one you want to see on the top. Open out those legs. I would say to try and keep it consistent though, so if your shoulders are gonna go on top, make sure they're on top on both sides. It'll just look a little bit neater. Next up under this is the red rectangles. These are the same, so it doesn't matter which way around you put them. Let's go on top. Next up is his hands. Again, these are the same for each side, so it doesn't matter which way around they go. Ooh, just throwing split pins everywhere. Oh, they're really hard to pick up. Right, that one over that hole. Open out those legs. And then this one on this side. This is going to be so hard to show when it's all finished because it's so big. There. Now his legs. We've got the green rectangles first. I think for this one, I'm actually going to put the green bits underneath. So it looks like his jumper or his top is sort of going over. I think that makes more logistical sense. Yeah. And now all we've got left are his 2, I'm running out of space, his 2 legs and feet. Oh, I don't know why I just opened that out before I put it through the hole. That's not going to work, is it? 1 and 2. If I can get that open. There. So now that's my whole nutcracker all joined together. I think even if I zoom out as far as I possibly can, you're still not going to see all of him. But maybe I can get him to look like he's having a little sit down. This is the same sort of pose I put the Halloween skeleton one in so that you can see. Here he is in all his glory. It's absolutely huge. It's a shame I can't show it to you hung up because it just won't fit on the camera. But he looks super cool. He's fun to play with, fun to make, easy to make as well. And he's easy to store for next year because you can just sort of fold all of the pieces in to make it take up not much space. You might need to give it a little play, or you could even take the pins out completely and then you get all the fun of making it next year as well. I love playing with these, even though he is a creepy nutcracker. I I hope you've enjoyed watching this video on how to make a giant movable nutcracker craft for Christmas. If you have, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and Christmas fun. I hope to see you tomorrow for day 19 of the Christmas Craft Countdown, but for now, thank you for watching. Bye!